the 22nd day of Chodesh Shvat, and we are in the middle of Daf Kuf Gimel, Amud Beis of Maseches Pesachim. We're in the middle of a number of stories about sudas and benching and cups, and we had concluded yesterday with the din that Rava told us, 3 lines down from the top of Kuf Gimel Amud Beis. Amar Rav Kevin da Amrisu Havlan v'Nivrich. Once you've said let's bench, itzur lechu le mishte. It is now also for you to drink anything else until you've made another bracha, until you've finished benching, one or the other, and then you make another bracha. But either way, you have to make another bracha. My time, what's the reason? Da aschisu da taichu. Because at the point in time that you say let's bench, that means we are no longer interested in drinking anymore, which means you are not covered by your original bracha. Another Gemara is going to tell us 2 more stories related to this. Ameimar Umar Zutra V'Rav Ashi. We are 5 lines down from the top of Kuf Gimel Beis. Ameimar and Mar Zutra and Rav Ashi Havu Yasu B'Suda. They were sitting in a Suda. V'Kaya Alaychu Rav Acha B'Reid Rava. And Rav Acha, the son of Rava, was waiting on them. Ameimar Barich Al Kol Kasa V'Kasa. Ameimar made a separate bracha on every cup that he was drinking. Meaning Ber Paragavan, and then they brought him another cup. He made another Ber Paragavan. Umar Zutra Barich Akasa Kama. There Akasa Batra. And Mazutra made a bracha on the Ber Paragavan at the beginning of the meal. The Akasa Basra and the cup that he was using for benching, at the end of benching, the Akasa Basra. He made 2 Ber Paragavans. Rav Ashi Barich Akasa Kama. Rav Ashi made a bracha only in the first cup. Vesule Barich. And he did not make another Ber Paragavan, meaning he benched Al Hakos, and then he drank it without any Ber Paragavan. Marlahu Rav Acha bar Yaakov, says Rav Acha bar Yaakov to them, Anon Keman Navid. What should we do? Meaning, what exactly should be the practice that we should follow? And Amar said, Nimlachana, meaning, why are you doing like this? Amemar says, the reason that I'm making a bracha every single time is because I thought I was only having 1 cup. There were more cups available, but I only thought, I said to myself, I'm only going to have 1 cup. And then I decided to have another one. So I made another bracha and I had another one. But I then said, I'm not going to have more than that. That's it. I'm not going to have another cup of wine. So, and then each cup, I thought this was it. Nevertheless, since I chose to have another one, I had to make another bracha. Mazutra says, Ana da Abdi Talmid de Rav. Mazutra says, I did like the Talmidim of Rav. Meaning the Talmidim of Rav, who says, once you say Havlam Nivrich, now you need to make another bracha again. That's why he made a bracha before and made a bracha at the end. Rav Ashi says, it's true, Mazutra, you are welcome to do like the Talmid de Rav, except that the halach is not like the Talmid de Rav. Daha, and I'll give you a proof for it. Daha Yom Tov shechali as achar Shabbos, because, as we have said before, Yom Tov that falls out after Shabbos, that goes from Shabbos to Yom Tov, ve'amar Rav yakna, and Rav says you should make yain kiddush ner havdalah. He only says that you have to make a ber paragavan once for the kiddush, and that same one is going to count for the havdalah as well, which means that even though there's benching in between, you don't have to make another bracha. What's the difference between yakna, between yain and kiddush ner havdalah at the beginning of the meal, and yain at the beginning of the meal that I have intention? I'm going to have in mind that at the end of the meal I'm going to bench ala kais, and then I will not need to make another ber paragafen. Says the Gemara V'Lohi, is that really true? Hasam akardate me mishdaya. When it comes to benching fundamentally is a different beast than Ner and Havdalah. Because when you say, I'm benching now, that means the meal is over. It means, Akardate mi mishtia. It means, I've decided I'm not going to have anything more to drink. But when it comes to Yain Kiddush Ner Havdalah, you are making a ber paragafen, you're not doing anything else. You're not saying, and the meal is over now. You're saying, and then I'm going to drink the cup of wine. So the Rashbam points out here from the fact that the Gemara rejects this opinion of Rav Ashi, it seems to be that we do pass on to the Talmid de Rav, and that Mazutra is correct, which is in fact Aminak, that at the beginning of the meal you make a ber paragafen, and at the end of the meal when you bench ala kos, you're going to make a ber paragafen. At some point now we should probably discuss what happened to benching ala kos. Why is it that nobody really does it? We'll get there. Says the Gemara, people do it, but not. It seems to be that in the Gemara, everybody's doing it. This is simple. Everybody's going to do it. It doesn't seem to be that we always are benching al hakos today. Says the Gemara, kimata la Avdullah, when Rava came to make Havdalah. So this was following on from that story. So when it came to make Havdalah, kam shami va'adlik avuka mishraga. The attendant, the servant, got up, va'adlik avuka mishraga, and lit a torch from the candle, meaning there was a candle that was burning, and the servant went and he lit the torch. What's the difference between a torch and a candle? It is the number of wicks. The number of wicks is the differentiating factor. Anything with more than one wick is called an avuka, is called the torch, and anything that only has one wick is called the shraga, a candle. Says the Gemara, Amarle, Rav Yaakov said to Rav Lama Lach Kulehai, why are you lighting? I mean, you want to make Havdalah here. Why are you lighting a torch? Ha man chashaga. You have a candle in front of you. You want to make a bari meraish, so say bari meraish on the candle that's in front of you. Why do you have to go and light the torch from it? Amarle says to him, no, my servant is doing this by himself. He decided to do that. I didn't tell him to do that. Amarle, so Yaakov says to him, yeah, you can try to pretend that this isn't from you, but if he's your servant, there's no ways that he's going out of his way to exert himself to light a torch. If you hadn't told him, meaning this has to be your shita, why are you insisting that a torch be lit? Amarle, he says, you don't hold like the din that you need to have an avuka for Havdalah, that's the mitzvah min amucha, that's the better way of doing the mitzvah. Why? Because we said the bracha on the lights of the fire, meaning as opposed to ma'or ha'ish. The din is that you said on the plural, and therefore it's better to have the plural. Pasach v'amar, and then Rava began, and he said, "Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yishalom ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa." That's how he made Havdalah. So he made Havdalah where he said, "Ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yishalom ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa." These four phrases. Amarli, he says to him, "Lama lach kulehai? Why are you saying so many things?" V'hamar Rabbi Yehuda Rav, didn't Rabbi Yehuda say in the name of Rav? All that you need to say is Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol baruch atah Hashem Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Why do you have to say Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yishalom ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa? He Havdalah shel Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, and that was how Rabbi Yehuda Nasi would make Havdalah. Just say Baruch Atah Hashem Hamavdil bin Kodesh L'chol. That's all that you need to say. Says Amarle, he says the Rabbi says back to Rabbi Yaakov, Ana kahai svirli. I hold like this sheet. The Amar Rabbi Lazar, Amar Rabbi Oshia, says Rabbi Lazar in the name of Rabbi Oshia, Hapoiches, one who is saying the minimum, Lo Yivchais Migimel, should say at the very least 3 Havdalahs. You should say 3 things that are mavdil, meaning because and if you want to add more, you're welcome to. Lo Yosef el Zayin. You should not say more than 7. So we're gonna have to figure out exactly what is this 3 and what is this 7. Where does this come from? What exactly is going on here? Amarle. So Rav Yaakov says to him, and turning over to Kuf Gimel and Beis, Amarle. Yeah, okay. You said don't do less than 3 and don't do more than 7. But you didn't do 3 and you didn't do 7. You did 4. Mavdil ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yisor la'amim ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa. So where does that come from? Amarle, so he says to him, Ivra ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa me'in chasimehi. No. The truth is that the last clause that I said, ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa, that is in order to be able to conclude the bracha, me'in hachasima. At the end of every bracha, you have to conclude the bracha with the theme of that which you just said. So that's why it's there. It's not there in order to make one of the 3. I have 3, and then I need to finish off. I have Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yisor la'amim. And then I want to say Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol, but I just said ben yisor la'amim. So therefore, I'm now saying ben yom hashil l'sheish me'amasa because that's be'ina chasima in order to be able to conclude with the theme that I'm going to be finishing the bracha with. V'amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel, and Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Shmuel said, Hamavdil, that the person that says Havdalah tzarich sheyem me'ina chasima samach chasima say, that the one who that the one who is making Havdalah should end off Me'ena Chasima with the theme that they are ending off with, Samach Lechasimasa, just before the end. And then the Gemara says, Uva Pumpedisai Amri, and in Pumpedisa they said, different, Me'en Psichosam. It must be something like that at the beginning, Samach Lechasimasa, next to the conclusion. And we are going to understand that Shita and the Machlokus between them, Ezra Baruch, with tomorrow. And looking forward, please God, to continue with all of the halachas of Havdalah, which Hashem, we will be able to continue with on the top of Kuf Dalet tomorrow. Hashem, looking forward to seeing everybody there. Have a wonderful day.